So I basically got into that movement or that group, intellectually online, and I just said, let's just focus on the Quran. Some hadith are nice, but some are weird, so I don't understand them really. I'm just going to stick to the Quran. What happened was, I go to college, get accepted to UC Irvine, decide to take a class on philosophy. Walk into that class on philosophy, and the professor starts talking about, how people believe in so many strange things today. You guys grew up believing in the tooth fairy, you grew up believing in Santa Claus, your parents had tricked you about these things, and I'm like, yeah, that's true, man. My parents, I remember the tooth fairy, I was, tricked into believing in the Santa Claus for a while, Halloween, all that stuff. And then he said, how many of you still believe in that? And everyone's like, come on, we don't believe in that. And then he threw the bomb, and he goes, how many of you still believe in God? And that's where I was just like, do I raise my hand? Do I not raise my hand?
So is anybody raising their hand at this moment?
Nobody raises their hand except one guy who was the weird Christian missionary guy who like everyone hated. He's just like, he seems like mentally deficient or something like that. So something's wrong with this guy. So I raised my hand. I'm like, okay, I believe in God, and just me and him and no one else in the class. And that was just like a moment for me. I'm like, am I like this guy? Am I the only one? Like, what's
the pressure's on now?
Really, the pressure's on.
You're sweating.
Really, I'm thinking, what have I been raised on? I thought that everyone believes in God, and I grew up believing like this, and that just questioned my faith, and it just changed my entire perception, and everything just went downhill from there. I became super skeptical, and I got to a point from agnosticism, not knowing if there's God, to basically sliding down into atheism and saying, you know what? God doesn't exist. All this religion is man-made. It's all, it's all just hodgepodge. It's something of the past. We need to get away from it.
We got a Muslim who left Islam, and this is a very sad situation. I'm sure many have been affected by this. You actually went through it. The story doesn't stop there. We got more. Deen show, Muslim leaves Islam. I don't see your heads off yet.
Not
did anybody
yet.
come with a machete looking for you?
No, they did not.
Okay.
Actually.
Because now a lot of people, they try to use this now that, okay, you obviously, how did your family, did they know now that you had turned away from
I didn't tell them openly, but I told them that, what, I'm not interested in praying, I'm not interested in going to the mosque, don't even ask me to go on Friday anymore.
It's obvious now.
It's pretty obvious that this guy is far from the religion.
Yeah. Now what happens, okay, that's the moment. You go in, well, you're carrying Bukhari, the hadith on your back, but I asked you how was really your core understanding was kind of very weak, didn't have a bright teacher.
Yeah.
You walk into this philosophy class, you come in, to a gunfight with, a pencil.
Yeah.
And what after that? You left the class really just disenfranchised, you're lost now.
Lost.
Your faith is questioned and everything's going out the window?
Yep. And then I started, that's when I kind of, got into a group of friends where I probably wouldn't have considered them when I was Muslim. So I started getting into this group of friends that are telling me, let's go to nightclubs, let's go to raves, let's just party, let's have fun.
That seems fun, huh?
It seems fun at the time.
Yeah, dunya opens up now.
That's it. Now, the shackles are coming off, and when you're a freshman in college, it's like you're just dying to get out of the confines of your home. Your parents have always been kind of holding you back, saying it's for your own good. Now I'm in the dorms in college. Now I have, some level of freedom, even though my parents are trying to, spy on me from time to time. Is this guy, is he crazy? Is he doing drugs? What's going on? So I start having fun, and I get or supposed fun, and I get into the wrong group, start going to these clubs, start going to raves, and kind of strange, like I'm not really believing, but I have like these, sometimes I feel like, should I consider praying? Should I not consider praying? There's still some doubts going on. There's doubts about not being Muslim as well, like the way that there were doubts about being Muslim. So I'm kind of going down this road, and I get into street racing with the cars, basically. So
like Fast and Furious?
Kind of like Fast and Furious, basically. Inspired by all these movies, inspired by what's going around in my area. So I get with this group and we start street racing, and it's a very dangerous thing. In retrospect, I tell people, you don't realize what you're doing. One mistake, a pedestrian walking down the street, you could just hit someone, kill someone, and you don't even feel it. It's like a video game almost in front of you. So I start street racing. and that's going on for a while. And one day I just get really upset with my parents. I get upset with just everything. I'm upset with life. I'm upset with the world. And I lost a lot of money that my parents had given me in the stock market that day. It was a Friday. The stock market crashes. I lose a ton of money. I'm stressed out. I'm mad at my parents. I got my.
Would you say you're kind of a spoiled rich kid?
Kind of a spoiled rich kid. That's just the reality. You know, I'm driving a Lexus IS 300 the same month that it came out. You know, it was a big deal when it came out. So that's pretty much what's happening. So I'm really upset, and I decide I'm running away from home. I've had it now. I need my absolute freedom. I don't even want to come home on the weekends anymore. I'm out of here. So I get my stuff. I have money in my bank account, so my parents had given me. Everything's ready to go. Jump in the car, run away from home, never coming back again.